Hello. Okay. We are going to do battle transition. It's going to take a while. Yeah, I not so much lately, but I do in general. I had a Marvel Unlimited subscription for a while. Okay, yeah. I do like superhero stuff. Also in manga from time to time. Okay, for this to work properly, we need to change the colliders. I don't really... Well, I do have a few physical books, comics, but I usually just read them online. Okay, let's plan this. This is not the current one. Okay. So, AI collides. AI collides with player. Okay, let's talk about it in top level stuff. I don't want a transition to another screen. It would be easier, which is maybe why most games do it. But I want to stay in the same level. Although probably loading like a battle level probably easier. It's probably a lot easier than switching characters in and out, setting them and stuff like that. Although switching to a battle level also mean you need to store the current location of the player. Never mind, let's try to do it like I want to do it. So we don't transition, but we also don't use the same characters because they are different. We can remove the... Can I lock this? We can remove the debugging. But I want to remove you. Why don't you let me remove you? Is this still working? Yes, okay, that's fine. Okay, so they connect. I need to make like a copy of the enemy, and it's not really a copy. It's like it's the same character with different rules, whatever. And then we start the battle. Oops. And then we also need to switch camera. This is going to be hard because I can't know like the position when we hit. The more I think about it, transitioning into a different combat screen is so much easier. Or at least we need like a transition effect in order to avoid. But why? I can animate the camera. Oh, that's okay. Okay, let's think about it. I take the store camera position. Create new camera. Move camera to combat position. Okay. And that can be like a sequence or something. Let's try making it work. So first of all, we need a bigger collider. Yes. Something like this. The reason for it is because we need to be able to detect the overlap easier. Oh, also, before we start doing that, let's sync our repo because it's important. AI perception done. What else did we do? Mouse cursor fonts. Okay. It's important to save your versions before moving on to new features. Let's do a pull request. Can't I view like the... Yes, I can. Yeah, perception. Log. Why is it, does it do that? Okay. Done. Let's create a new branch. Combat transition. Why is the graphics not loading? That's weird. Let's make it bigger again. Let's check the project settings, platforms, Windows. Where did my things go? Maybe I didn't save it. Never mind. Not important right now. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm super stupid. I didn't fetch. Now it works. Yep, now it works. Everything. But I'm on main and I don't want to be on main. I'm going to comment transition and I'm going to do I merged the little changes that the main had into combat transition and now it's supposed to be fine. Okay. So we have a larger collider for the enemy. Let's do the same thing with the player. This is 160 by 120. Compile. Great. So do we initiate combat from the player or from the enemy? Who is the initiator for the combat? I think the player should be. And you know what? Before we do that, I want to... No, you know what? No. Not before, not anything. Okay, so let's say... on begin overlap. On begin overlap, we want to check if the actor is an enemy. How do I make a tag? Tag? No? I need to tag it and call it an enemy because I need to know that we are colliding with an enemy. Gameplay tags. Where do I do this? Maybe I need to create those in advance, so let's try this. Project settings. Project. Gameplay tags. Add new tags. Enemy. Add tag. Okay. Save all. Where do I set it now? Aha! Enemy. Good. Okay, so other actor tag. Actor as tag. Promote to variable. Just because I don't want to have it static. Enemy. Let's call it something like I technically I can use this to do like everything that is related to the player interacting with the environment. So enemies, doors, chests, stuff like that. So instead of, and then I do a branch. It's going down. Yes. Okay. Is enemy. Okay. Let's print. Facing an enemy. What is happening? Oh no! Something is wrong with the nav mesh. Not supposed to be. It worked before. What changed? Oh, I know what changed. It's overlapping. I think that's the problem. Let's... it's not this, it's the actual capsule. Interesting. It collides with the door. Okay, this should be... Oh, but I don't want this to be no collision because then they can move through it, yeah. Also, it didn't do the facing an enemy. What do I do? This is a problem. This is a problem. Also, why am I dropping frames? Please pause. Thank you. Anything else? Not really. Well, OBS, obviously. Anyway, back to the problem. We are getting stuck on the door. It doesn't generate overlap event. Do you generate overlap event, by the way? Capsule component, collision. Yes, you do. That's fine. Oh, I can do like custom and then ignore for pawns. Let's see if that works. Okay, it works. This is fine. This is what we want actually. This is the proper behavior. But we don't get the event. Do you have the tag? You do. You have a tag. It calls enemy. Let's try something else. When you overlap, you tell me what is the overlap. Let's wait for him to see me. It doesn't do anything. Also, it lost interest. It obviously has overlap because they can't like face it, they can't do anything. In this position, they should be so my code is fine. Just that, yeah, it slides on the floor a bit because it tries to keep moving, but it's colliding. And I don't care about it at the moment. It's not important. Generate overlap events. It's a pawn. It blocks other pawn, which is fine. Can we make it like visible? Oh, they are not overlapping. They are blocking each other. That's interesting. That's interesting. So, what do I want to do here? Again, what is dropping my frames? It's so annoying. It's supposed to be fine. I will close Discord. Nothing else I can really close. Anyway. Okay, so maybe You don't need to block. So default. Oh, I need pawn to be overlap. That's what I need. Same with the character. I need custom pawns to overlap. And actually the door should be the same because I may want to do something with the doors. Okay, play. Aha! Facing an enemy! Now it works. Yes! Good. Facing an enemy. Okay. Oy. Now the confusing part. Oh, I didn't mark this as started. Oh well. Okay, let's take it step by step. First of all, I don't want to do this in the player. The player just needs to know he started the battle. I need to make like an event or something in another place. I need to have like in blueprints I need like, is it a controller? Let's assume it's a controller and we call it combat controller. And we'll have something like, we'll need a new event. Add custom event, begin combat. Should do it with an interface, but right now, cast to combat controller. Cast to combat controller. Begin. Why not? Supposed to be able to access this. Am I just stupid? I'm not sure I know what I'm doing. لا. Let's try like doing blueprint interface, interface, and then how do I do this? Class settings, combat interface, and combat controller, class setting, combat interface. Okay, they both use the same interface. That's not what I wanted. Then it's a function for begin combat, and it gets as an input, it will get the enemy. Enemy. Don't really need to know. In reality, I will store some type of information about the enemy in like a data structure. So here I have begin combat. I'm confused, I'm completely confused. I want the player blueprint to tell the combat controller that combat has begun. Send event to blueprint. Sure, dispatch or whatever. Cool, what are you designing? So we need like an event dispatcher, combat dispatch. Let's call it combat dispatcher, whatever. So I need to do something like this. You can add event nodes. Okay, I did it right. How do I call this? Calling event dispatcher. Other reference. Okay, so. Oh, okay. I understand now. I don't need to. So, player controller, reference. Why not? No. Totally not. Maybe I can do it the other way around. Can I get player character cast Oh, maybe I can do this like that. Maybe. I still don't know what I'm doing, but still. Custom Add event, add custom event, begin, combat, start, I can delete, if I will delete the interface. Okay. So on begin play, we will bind, and I think it works like this. Oh. On begin play, we are binding. Oops. We are binding the begin combat to actor begin overlap. Binding events. Still don't understand how to communicate between them. Eh? What do you mean? Okay, this looks good. Let's just do this like this. And then I can take this logic and put it here. Overlapped, I think. When we get to characters getting killed, what I'm trying to do is communicate between my character. First of all, hello, Pixel Theory. What do I want to? I want to communicate. What? I want to communicate to my combat controller that combat has begun when there is an overlap. That's what I'm trying to do. And I'm feeling really stupid that I don't understand how to send information from one blueprint to another. That's my problem. Yes, I have the on begin overlap event. How do I send? I did this thing. I did this thing that checks if it's an enemy. Okay, that's fine, that works. How do I send it to another location? I don't want the player blueprint, which only controls like the player that is moving around. I don't want it to handle combat. I want the combat controller to handle the combat. How do I do that? That's a good, how do I make a reference? I have a combat controller. That's not a reference. A combat controller is just a player controller that is called combat controller. It's a different controller. Because we are, again, the frame drops. Why, computer? Why do you drop my frames? No, seriously. I don't know. Okay. I get ya. We have no combat controller anymore. So what do I use as another blueprint class? It's turn-based thing. I want to transition from the player walking around to a camera in a fixed position and turn-based combat. That's the thing. And I need something to handle the combat logic. Well, good, because I can think of even one. Start by telling me which... what do I use? A normal blueprint class? Just basic blueprint class? With nothing? Sure, let's use a pawn. Combat controller. An actor component, but then what do you place it on? I place it on the player. Aha. So you say use the pawn, and when you start combat you possess the pawn instead of the player character and switch to that camera. Okay. Let's try this. But we'll try it after a short break because I need to pee. So, we're going on a break.